Hello and good evening, my name is Morganon, and I bid you welcome back to the walkthrough for Risen. Fair warning, this is going to be a long episode, and not a whole lot's going to happen. Because this is honestly, I've been dreading doing this one, not because it's going to be hard or particularly annoying to edit or anything. It's just, we're going to be talking to pretty much everybody in town, and doing nothing else. And I've been kind of unsure how we're going to handle this. I should probably get moving sooner rather than later, because my hope is I can kind of fit all these dialogues into one episode and just be done with them. But it might take too long to even fit within like a 2-hour extended episode. We'll see what happens.
Hello, farmer.
Hello, stranger.
Well, it's not my fault that's your name. Then again, that stranger may be mine.
What is it you're doing here?
I'm one of the lucky ones. The merchant comrade pays me to watch his cows. The others haven't been so lucky. But such is the law of the Inquisitor. In the town you'll be safe, they said. Safe, maybe. Safe and starving.
Well, you could always just stick your head under there and have a sip of milk if you're getting peckish.
Spare a coin for a poor farmer. We have nothing to eat. My wife Martha is sick.
Can't you find work here?
I had work guarding the cows, but Martha needs me now. We're down to our last few coins.
That sounds like Martha needs food and medicine, which you should be working for, but, well, we'll see what the state of this town is in a moment.
Here, 25 gold pieces.
Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Good luck, and don't give up hope.
I won't. Thank you.
Can I help you?
Are you a healer? My wife is so sick. I fear the worst.
What's wrong with her?
She's feverish. I blame these cursed bloody ruins.
Why? How did they make her ill?
They came out of the ground right next to my damn farm. Next day, Martha caught this fever, and she's got sicker since then. I don't know what to do. Her only hope is Master Belshaw.
Who is Master Belshaw?
A mage from the monastery. He spends his time at the Shrine of the Flame, back in the gutters. He cares about poor farmers like us. No one else does.
What a swell guy.
Just let me sleep.
No having a word with her. Alright, so already we're off to a bad start in this town. Seems like people are in bad shape.
You're new here, right? Leto let you in, huh?
Yes. I'm from outside.
You're breaking the Inquisitor's new laws. You know that. You should be more careful. You tell the wrong people, you could get yourself in trouble.
You've had trouble with the law.
Ha! The law is just an excuse to lock us all in the town. The Order wants to loot the ruins in peace. Once they've taken the last crumb of gold out of the ruins, they'll let us out again. Don Esteban figured that out right away.
Why are you in the town and not in the swamp?
Simple. The Don doesn't let go of things that belong to him. Some of us are keeping business going here until the Inquisition move on.
What business do you do?
Anything that brings gold. Gold's the only way we can challenge the Order and the warriors, isn't it?
You could try
Taking
punching
the
them.
town back is what it's all about. We control the town, we control the island. For now, though, the Inquisitor and Commandant Carlos are in charge. So what's your step? All right.
What's the Order doing about the Don's men?
They stop us where they can. Since they came here with their fancy white uniforms, they've never taken their eyes off us. They're just waiting for us to step out of line. Then they'll take us to the monastery. Keep your eye out for Sebastian. He's always around, watching.
Tell me about Commandant Carlos.
He's the Inquisitor's watchdog. His headquarters is in the guardhouse. He sits up there controlling everyone's lives. But it's only a matter of time before he pisses enough people off.
Sounds like you could use some help.
We could. I have to scrape together a lot of gold for the Don. If I don't send him something soon, if I don't get some gold in, I'll have problems with my own boys. If you help me, I can cut you in for a slice.
What are you offering if I do help you?
Well, I'll give you gold. And I can teach you a few things too. Give a man a fish, and he'll stink for a day. Give him a rod.
You want to teach me to fish?
In a manner of speaking. Fish for gold. I can make a pickpocket out of you. Word to the wise. You should look to the Don. Join him before you get swallowed and pissed out by the Order.
What can I do?
Costa the pawnbroker's doing good business here in the gutters. He's preying on the farmers and stuffing his pockets with gold.
So, what do you need doing?
Since the Order has been here, he hasn't paid his dues to the Don. Hired himself a bodyguard, he has, and he pays the Inquisition's taxes. What about the Don's taxes, eh? Where's our slice? Someone needs to make sure we get paid.
I'll get your gold.
Good. It's time we showed him we're still in charge in the gutters. But it won't be easy. Costa won't pay voluntarily. At least, not now he's got himself a bodyguard.
How much does Costa owe?
He's caused a lot of trouble. I'd say he owes 300 gold coins for that alone. You can keep half.
How should I get the gold from him?
I really don't care. If you give him a beating, you can probably just take it. But don't kill him. No point killing the golden goose. And it will get the Inquisition on our backs. But teaching his bodyguard a lesson wouldn't hurt.
Is there any advice you can give me?
If you just cut loose on Costa, you'll have to take care of him and his bodyguard at the same time. It'd be better to deal with them one by one. Try to provoke them, one at a time. They start the fight, then no one will interfere. You start the fight, you'll have problems with the guards.
Alright, so that's your introduction to what's going on here in town. There's obviously, we were anticipating that there was going to be a tug of war between the Inquisition and the Don's men. And we got our first quest on that front. So these quests that we get from the Don's men and from the Inquisition are all directly at odds with each other. And in fact, most of them end up being, you pretty much solve them the same way and just complete them with a different NPC. So, like I said, we're not going to be doing them today, and we're just going to be essentially getting them all. And then I'll be showing the different outcomes in future episodes. This is pretty critical. This is how you end up deciding which side you side with and which faction you're going to join. And it's important to note that I believe I tested this before. There's no way to lock yourself out because there are an odd number of quests, and whichever one you completed the majority of for one side or the other will dictate who you end up joining. So, if you like the sound of rewards for one or the other, you can sneak a few, with the Don's men and get some extra rewards if you want, but we're just going to cover them all, assuming pure loyalty for one side or the other. For now, we're just going to be getting them all.
Wait, I saw you talking to Delgado. Do you deny it?
I deny it.
And who are you?
I am Sebastian, a warrior of the Order of the Holy Flame.
You got something stuck to your lip,
you
and it's disgusting.
Want to be careful who you get involved with.
What do you know about Delgado?
He is one of Don Esteban's men. Ruthless, the lot of them. They steal, lie, and extort. Steer clear of them.
What are you doing about the Don's people?
Inside the town, cornering them like rats in a burrow. Outside the town, the Inquisitor is slowly choking them, starving them of men, of gold, of food. Commandant Carlos will see the town is cleared of the Don's influence. Then those left in the swamp will just wither and die. We'll finish Delgado, and the Don will follow.
Why don't you just throw the Don's men out of the town?
We've tried. They get back in. We don't know where or how, so now we'll use that. Finish them where they stand. You'd better decide whose side you're on. You want to be a rat? Or a rat catcher?
I'm gonna be honest, their justification for why the Don's men are still in town is way too tenuous to really believe. The idea that they just chuck them out of town and they sneak back in is all well and good. But the solution to that is not to keep letting them run their rackets and hope that you can interrupt them. The solution is throw them in jail, for God's sake. None of them actually get sent to the monastery, and I can at least have some suspension of disbelief there, even though it breaks with the themes of the Inquisition. Having too many of the Don's men in the monastery is just asking for trouble. But throwing them in prison seems like a fine option. Now, we'll see that their prison, or their excuse for a prison, isn't very good here. But, come on. You can build something. You can put them in chains, and, you know, the old ball and chain, and send them to prowl the ruins and get themselves killed by whatever nasty things are down there. Just letting them run their business and hoping they can trip them up is such a terrible way to try and deal with them. But, obviously, it kind of needs to be that way to get the quests to work for both sides.
How can I help you?
I need to know what Delgado is planning. He's careful. He knows I'm following him, but he is up to something. Since you have spoken to him, maybe you can find out for me, and we can block up another of the Don's rat holes.
Now, don't worry, even though you have to choose one side or the other to do this for, all that really matters for most, if not all of these quests, is how you complete it. You can kind of play for both sides, and each tell them information on the other, without cutting off that avenue with one or the other. But it's when you finally complete the quest, that's when the decision is made.
Delgado wants to extort protection money from the pawnbroker Costa.
And he needs you to do it for him. Am I right?
That's it. Apparently Costa's ripping off farmers, and the Don's men want some of the spoils.
Yes. I've had a bad feeling about Costa for a while.
Delgado is desperate for gold. Without it, his own people will hang him out to dry.
Then this is the chance I've been waiting for. Will you help me to deal with Delgado?
What do you want me to do?
Pretend to work for Delgado and get the gold from Costa. But instead of giving it to him, give it to me. I will make sure it gets back to the proper owners.
And if Delgado doesn't get Costa's gold?
We'll have caused a big internal row within the Don's men.
What's in it for me if I help?
It will stand you in good stead if you'd like to go to the monastery. Our commander appreciates help, and the monastery can train you as a mage or as a warrior of the order. It would be your choice. And, of course, you will receive a reward.
How high is the reward for Delgado?
100 gold pieces.
So, you're going to notice that the rewards you get for siding with the Inquisition are never as generous as you get working for the Don. Whether that's intentional and thematic, I don't know. But it's just the way it is.
Please, take a look around. Are you looking for anything special? A pan, cast iron, or a necklace? If you're hungry, we have potatoes. We grow them ourselves. Have a look at everything I offer.
You're such a strange-looking man.
That's a lot of different wares for a merchant.
I'm not a merchant. I'm a farmer. Was, till the ruins came. Lost my farm. You look like another refugee. Word to the wise. Stay away from Costa.
Costa? Who's Costa?
He's a swindler. After everything people have lost, he's trying to take the rest. He forces people to sell their goods for less than they're worth, then resells them. Help another refugee, will you? Have a look at my goods, not the stuff he's pushing.
Why don't you sell your goods somewhere else?
We're not allowed. They won't let us into the merchants' district. The Inquisition talks about law, keeps us here, then lets these scoundrels run things. We don't have enough gold to buy the goods the merchants offer, so the white robes chase us off. For a lot of us, the only thing left is Costa. He's the only one who'll buy.
What can you tell me about the town?
Well, there are 3 districts. The gutters here, that's the street above the harbour. Farther down by the water is the Harbour District. That stretches from the lighthouse to the warehouses and the prison at the end of the quay. The rich bastards live in the merchants' district. That's where the main gate of the town is.
Let me see your goods.
So he has exactly what he says. Nothing we really need, I'm sorry to say, buddy. The funny thing is, even though he's ostensibly supposed to be a poor, broke farmer, like any other merchant, he has infinite money and can buy everything you sell him.
Tell me about the merchant district.
If you're looking for goods and have enough gold, there's a lot of merchants around the square at the main gate. But try here first, yeah? If we refugees don't support each other, who else will?
Tell me about the harbour.
They say the gutters isn't reputable. Go down there, you get drunk sailors, a tavern and a brothel. People aren't as willing to spend gold as they used to. With the storms, the sailors are stuck here and bored. But if you're looking for pleasure, that's the place for you. You find a lot of stranded fishermen and workers at the warehouses. One of the buildings was confiscated by the Order. Don't know what they're storing there.
Anything else?
Well, the Order seized the old harbour master's office and set up a slaughterhouse there. If you have enough gold, you can buy meat. With gold and meat, you'll also find guards.
Tell me about the gutters.
The gutters are everything above the harbour. Home to the unlucky, unloved, farmers and refugees. Master Belshaw has set up a soup kitchen at the end of the road. He's a mage from the monastery, one of the Order, but at least he's looking after us. And there's Flavio, a merchant. He has his business at the end of the gutters, next to the shrine. And if you want a beer, go to Josh. He has a small tavern here.
I'm gonna be honest, the name Gutters implies sort of the lowest part of the town where all the refuse runs down. But it's actually one of the higher sections, so I guess it's not all about geography, is it?
Hey, do you work here?
Sure do. If you're looking for somewhere to kip, just go upstairs. Pay Costa after.
Isn't it a bit odd to pay afterwards?
Don't ask me. I don't bring the business, I just bring the muscle.
Why is muscle needed?
Costa doesn't want trouble.
Trouble with whom?
Guests looking for a free kip, or anyone who wants to play silly buggers.
And what silly buggers indeed.
You work for Costa?
Yeah, gotta get gold where you can. Not much to be had down at the harbour. No ships means no work.
So, you're paid muscle.
Better than an unpaid muscle.
Fair.
Come on then. I could do with a bit of combat practice.
You what? You wanna fight me? Here?
Yeah, let's go.
Sure. Why not? I don't have anything better to do.
Let's get this over with.
Maybe I should have healed up first, but
See this.
this isn't a terrible fight. And one way or another, it's worth doing anyway. There are ways to deal with Costa that doesn't involve combat, but you'll see a bit of fighting.
Again.
Knocking this fool down for a bit of XP and the loot ain't a bad idea.
Come on, you fucking like lettuce.
I have never, outside of this game, heard anyone compare someone's combat abilities to lettuce.
Give us blood. Yeah. Give them hell. Come on. Again. Yeah. Again. Fight! Fight! Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like he wasn't trying to keep his distance as much as they usually do. Well, Costa, let that be a warning to you. You know what's coming. Quick little tip here, something I didn't know about for a long time. There is actually a chest over here. Not much in it, but everything is something.
Do me a favour, mate, and don't let Costa know you can fight like that, or I'll be out of a job.
I mean, he watched the whole thing.
Tell him, or are we gonna have another problem?
No, I might be paid for muscle, but that doesn't mean I don't have a brain.
Alright, so we did exactly what Delgado suggested. He will be out of the equation.
What do you want here?
I could ask you the same thing.
I sleep here. Nothing wrong with that, is there, mate?
What do you do?
I, work for the fishmonger.
Is that so?
Honest. I pick up the fish and take them out to sell them.
You don't look busy.
Well, storms mean no fishing, and nobody's got much to spend.
If I sleep here, you'd better not steal from me.
Mate, trust me. I don't do things like that.
Well, let's keep it that way.
I don't know who you are, mate, but I promise you're safe here.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
They protect us. I can't complain about that. And once they've done what they have to, everything will be like it used to be.
You seem so sure of that, my friend. Bear in mind, if you do sleep, exactly like Fuller said, you will be accosted by Acosta, who will demand payment for it.
I'm Costa. Welcome to my little part of the island. If there's anything you need, anything at all, I can get it. Usually.
What do you sell?
Weapons, potions, jewellery, scrolls. If you need it, hell, I can even get you a bed.
Where do you get your wares?
Since there's nothing coming into town, I sell stuff we still got inside.
Like what?
Times are tough. People got to find a way to get by. Quite a few folks want to sell their possessions for some solid coin in their hands.
So you prey on people's poverty?
Hey, no one's forcing them to sell their stuff. If they wish to trade their family heirlooms for a hot meal, I'm the man who helps them. I'm a charitable man, just like Belshaw. They'd be sleeping in the gutter without me.
Anywhere around here I can sleep?
It's not a good idea to spend the night in just any old bed. That's asking for trouble. But I have a couple of beds on the upper floor. I don't ask much, just 30 gold coins. They're safe, peaceful, and you won't wake up with lice in your hair.
Delgado is waiting for his gold.
Then he's gonna have to wait a long time. I'm not paying.
Delgado won't like that.
Is that a threat? Please.
You won't pay? Is that your final say?
It really wasn't very smart to get involved with a man like Delgado, you know. You'll see that soon enough. There's no Don here anymore. The Order controls this place. So, no payment. And yes, that is my final say.
Alright, so these are your choices here. You can trade with him. Doesn't really have much worthwhile. He does sell the same shirt he's wearing. It is ever so slightly better than the one we're wearing. But we will not be having that. Your choices are to fight him, as Delgado suggested, or you can actually steal the purse from him with a pickpocket option and bypass the whole mess entirely, including not having to deal with Fuller. But we already dealt with Fuller, so life be that way.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't walk by. Try the best fish in town. This is your lucky day, because I have one perfect Piscine offer for you.
You do.
Buy one fish and get a second fish completely free. 2 fish for the price of 1.
Sounds like a good deal. What sort of fish do you have?
Everything the sea can provide. Herring just caught and plaice so fresh it doesn't even know it's dead yet.
Is that all?
No. I also have shark. A nice shark steak will revive the weariest spirit, and you look like you could do with that.
You're pretty talky for someone who sells fish.
I figure the longer I keep someone talking, the more chance they have of buying some fish. I never should have bought this lousy fishmonger's. I was with this wench. She said she liked fish, and then... before you know it, I've bought this thing. I mean, I don't know my herring from my halibut. And with the storms, there aren't even many fish being caught.
Show me your fish.
You actually want to buy some? Well, don't forget, it's 2 for 1.
Why don't you sell the store then?
Do you want it?
Why would I want a fish stall?
See, that's what I should have said to myself. But that wench was so very beautiful.
Is there anything I could do to help?
Well, you could find someone who wants to buy this stall. Ideally, someone who knows about fish.
How much do you want to sell your stall for?
Well, including all the goods, let's say 300 gold pieces.
I'll find you a buyer for your stall.
Wonderful! Might be handy if you look for someone who is drunk, or crazy, or loves fish.
Maybe
I'll
all three.
Keep that in mind.
I have faith in you, my friend. Here, have a shark steak on the house.
Where do you think I can find a buyer?
If I knew, I'd have asked them myself. Maybe the harbour? The tavern? You could ask the fishermen. At least they'd know about fish.
Show me your fish.
You actually want to buy some? Well, don't forget, it's 2 for 1.
So you notice he's got an unusual shop here, because his is all done through dialogue, and that's in order to facilitate his 2-for-1 deal, because they had no way to handle that through standard merchant shop interface. The only interesting thing about the fish he sells is the shark steak. Now, the shark steak actually gives you plus 15 experience. And going through him, it's actually a decent deal where you can pretty much get infinite... I mean, not decent deal, but... It is a possible way of getting infinite XP, but at 50 gold, 25 since you get 2 for 1, for 15 XP, really not worth it in the long run when you're looking at the experience values you're already dealing with. We got almost 4,000 to the next level. That's gonna take a lot of sharks.
Too risky.
Anyway, we'll be dealing with his fishmongering problems another time.
Hey.
Hello, I'm Finn. You don't happen to have any work to offer?
No, I don't.
Drat. I've combed every corner of this place. This town is a mess. There are so many people here now, and they all want jobs. Even Flavio can't give me work.
What sort of work do you do?
Anything. Anything.
Do you want to buy a fish stall?
No thanks. I'm a farmer. What I know about fish, you could write on the side of a sprat. Someone in the harbour might be interested, though.
What can you tell me about Flavio?
People say Belshaw is the only man doing something for the farmers. But Flavio has given work to lots of people. Has.
But that's changed.
Yeah. The warehouse is empty, and he had to get rid of most of us.
What a shame.
May the holy flame light your way, stranger. Are you looking for a spot of warm fire? Or some stew to salve your hunger?
You're a mage.
I am that. I am Master Belshaw, a guardian of the holy flame, ordained into the convocation of mages.
What is it you do in the town?
I help those who are unable to help themselves. For now, that means providing food, shelter, other necessities. Why don't you help me?
What can I do for you?
Help me to care for the people. There are those who are sick and injured. They are in need of healing potions.
I can distribute those healing potions for you.
Good, good. Thank you. I have 7 potions prepared. I will give you a list with the names of the needy here in the gutters. Consider the remaining potions payment for your work.
What is the holy flame?
In the monastery at the foot of the volcano, there's a holy place. It's one of the last true treasures of this world. The Hall of the Holy Flame. It's the source of our power, a well of magic. We must do all we can to protect it from the looming danger.
What can you do with magic?
It has many uses. There are spells which harm and spells which heal, and those that light your path in the darkness. With no study at all, you could cast from a scroll. Those scrolls can be used but once, whereas an artifact with magic bound into it can last an age. But to create such items, or use magic without the need of them, for that you must become a mage.
How can I become a mage?
You need a firm will and much patience to be chosen. As a mage, you would bear great responsibility. Are you fit for such a role?
I don't know.
A good answer. Quick to learn, quick to forget is what I say. Think then, and find your path. But dedication, not speed, is required for study. If you can show dedication to the Holy Flame, then I would see you as more fit for training.
Right.
So, if you didn't get the message there, Master Belshaw is basically our only hope of becoming a mage. getting to the monastery any other way than going through Belshur will only open the path of a warrior of the Inquisition for you. To become a mage, you need approval from him.
I could use some stew.
Here, may it grant you strength.
Thank you.
Delicious. Now, even though it shows the animation of us drinking it, we actually still hang on to it. So I guess we just had a little sample.
You look like you're from the monastery.
Yes. I am Novice Hugh. I assist Master Belshore.
What exactly happens up there, at the monastery?
Normally, the monastery is a place of peace and knowledge. But now the Inquisition has taken up residence, it has become a place to train recruits.
How do they decide if someone becomes a recruit or a novice?
Most take the path of the recruit. They are trained to become a warrior of the Order. This requires them to learn the high art of staff fighting and the basic principles of magic. To tread the path of magic, you must prove yourself to the Order. Then you may be given the choice to become a novice. As a novice, you learn staff fighting, but only enough to defend oneself. After that, you focus on real study, the art of the mage. If you wish to become a novice, then you should spend time with Master Belshore.
Master Belshore wants me to hand out some healing potions.
The people here need help. There are many sick and injured.
But how do I find the people who need healing?
Belshore gave you a list of those to be treated, didn't he?
Yes.
Those people will be here in the gutters. Most live on the street. But don't forget Josh. He's a small tavern over there down the stairs. People call that part of Harbour Town a hole. It's easy to miss.
Right. Thanks. Tell me more about this town.
There is unrest. Many do not accept the Inquisitor's word, or the reality of what is happening. If the Inquisitor had captured the Don, everything would be different. But instead, people complain, even as we seek to save them.
Why do they complain?
Don Esteban and his gang still have great influence. They seek to discredit the Inquisition for their own ends. Many believe the Don will take control as soon as the Inquisitor is gone, so only a few are willing to defy the Don, lest they pay the price later.
What do you make of the Inquisitor?
He may be disliked by some, but he is the only one who can help us in these times. He will avert the threat of the risen temples and restore order. While he performs his tasks up in the monastery, he is reliant on us, upon his representative, Commandant Carlos, to maintain control here.
Tell me more about Commandant Carlos.
He is a warrior of the Order of the Holy Flame. He spends most of his time in the guardhouse, but his warriors are ever vigilant, maintaining peace in the town, which cannot be said of the Old Town Guard.
What's wrong with the Old Town Guard?
In the days before the Inquisitor arrived, they were responsible for keeping order on the streets. Don Esteban had them under his thumb. They did what they pleased here. They would do anything for gold and pleasure, and still would if given the chance. But now the Order is in charge here. Alas, I fear some of them care too little for the people.
How did you become a novice?
I volunteered. Master Belshore said I have what it takes and gave me his blessing. After I convinced Commandant Carlos of my worth, I was allowed to go to the monastery to begin training. One day, I will be a powerful mage, a master of the Order.
Why are you so fond of the Inquisition?
These are dark days, and in such times we must look to unlikely sources to aid us. Inquisitor Mendoza is our greatest hope.
So, we see more sentiment in favor of the Inquisition in this town, but generally speaking, the people who are more for the Don instead see the stifling nature of the lockdown and the fact that the Inquisition don't really seem cognizant of how devastating that is to a lot of people's livelihoods here. Because they're more interested in the ruins. It's kind of like, basically, do the ends justify the means? Like, the Inquisition and their lockdown are supposed to help people, but people's lives have gotten substantially worse. And the question is, does defending them from the dangers outside the city really justify how sort of lax the attitude is towards their plights within the city? It just seems like the Inquisition in general are not doing enough to help. And people like Hugh see the threat of, the threats around them sort of distract them from the nature of what's actually going on. Maybe I should have thought about this more and figured out how to phrase it better, but you get my meaning. Like, yes, it's important that these people are safe from the threats coming out of the ruins, everything happening with the storms, and obviously all that's going to bring the squalor that we see around us. But the Inquisition's policies are exacerbating the problem, and they don't really seem to be trying to find any way to fix that. They're just treating it like it's for your own good.
After somewhere peaceful. I'm Cole, by the way.
Is this a place of prayer?
This is the Shrine of the Holy Flame, a place of calm in a violent, lawless world.
And you're here to pray?
Yes. I pray that this will all be over and I can go back to being a hunter.
Tell me about the flame.
I'm a hunter. I don't know much about holy things.
Just tell me what you know.
It's... the flame protects us. All of us. Understand? It protects the whole island. It's where the mages get their magic. They say while it burns, there is hope. That the storms don't come to this island because of it. Whatever it is, the flame protects us.
The mythology around the flame is interesting to me because there aren't many religions, at least in fictional settings, that are based around a sort of spiritual power that does not have a personification. Like, every religion you can think of is more or less revolving around deities. Maybe stuff like Buddhism isn't so much. That is definitely a more spiritual religion rather than driven by any specific being. Like, Buddha himself is just regarded as more of a mentor than anything. I'm not exactly a scholar on the matter, but I know he's not revered as a divinity that gives people power, but is just someone who sort of illuminated the path to enlightenment for them. Whereas the Holy Flame here is just seen as a spiritual force that is giving people protection and power, but is not a sentient being in and of itself. It's interesting. And not very typical of your fantasy religious sort of tropes.
Here is a healing potion for you, with greetings from Belshore.
Ah, thank you. The Order does try to provide for us. It's sometimes easy to forget that.
I mean, we're going to see that the Order and the mages are not one and the same here. So the fact that the mages are trying to help you does not mean the Order is trying to help you.
You're a hunter?
I am. Well, I was.
What happened?
Since the temples rose, no one's allowed outside the town because of the creatures. I was lucky the Inquisition didn't take me to the monastery.
And what happened to your bow?
I pawned it to Costa. Fed me for a week. And to think I could provide for the whole town with it once. Now not even Flavio has work for me. All I have left is Master Belshore's stew.
What delicious stew it was.
Can you teach me anything about hunting?
I could, but if you're thinking of going on an expedition, there's nothing here in the town to hunt.
Could you teach me archery?
That I can show you.
Can you teach me?
So, general stuff. As I said before, sneaking is not really worth it. I forgot to mention earlier, Delgado is a way to learn pickpocketing, but he will only teach you after you've already sided with him on the Costa situation, which is a bit of a shame. So that's why I suggested learning the basics of pickpocketing before we come to town with one of the Don's men. Who was it, Phil or Clay? One of them two.
Hey.
What do you want? I haven't done anything.
That's quite a guilty conscience.
No. I thought,
Thought what?
that you were one of the people who doesn't want us outsiders here. They say we're thieves, but we aren't. The Don's rabble are the thieves.
Where are you from?
All over. I'm a hunter, or was before the Order locked me up here in this town.
You don't sound terribly happy.
Of course. If they're going to lock everyone up here, they should look after us. Instead, they treat us like criminals.
But the Order just leaves us here, leaves us to our fate.
Alright, so this guy's more on the side of what I was saying earlier. And he's not specifically saying, oh, things are so much better with the Don. He's just saying the Inquisition's making things much worse than they need to be. And that they could be taking more responsibility for the people that are locking up here. And instead, they're just treating it as what needs to happen, more or less. And screw what happens after they're dealt with.
So, are there thieves in the town?
Oh, yes. They take everything that's not nailed down. They cleaned out all the skins in Flavio's storehouse. And the worst thing is that the rebels get away with it. Nah, I hate it here. I can't wait to get out.
Well, that ain't gonna happen anytime soon, brother.
Do you know any good jokes?
You think now's the time for jokes? Maybe. Most people could do with cheering up. You hear the one about the Geiger and the Treasure Seeker?
Yeah, sorry. I've heard that one.
Well, it's a shame because I haven't. It's a bit of a recurring theme. I don't remember how many times it happens, but there are a lot of pickpocketing dialogues where the main character asks for a joke and just says he's already heard it, which is a shame because they're all jokes I haven't heard before, but clearly ones that Pronovice didn't actually write a punchline for.
Welcome, welcome. I am Flavio the Merchant.
Hello, Flavio the Merchant.
I bet you're looking for work. I can't give you any. You'll have to try somewhere else.
What do you sell here?
Hunting trophies. Skins, claws, and teeth are my business. I pay for good catches. I'll even provide you with new arrows. Well, I used to.
You don't have any work to offer?
Since the town gates have been closed, my hunters can't get out. So there is no more hunting, no catch, no gold. We all just have to tighten our belts.
Do you have any jobs that can be done in the town?
Well, there's one thing. We all could really use a delivery of meat.
Where does it need to go?
Master Belcher needs it. You just have to get the meat from the slaughterhouse. I've already talked to Baxter down there, but he wants 10 skins before he'll hand over any meat.
So you want me to find these skins?
If you manage that, then at least we'll have some meat.
Don't you have any skins? After all, you deal in them.
No, my stores are empty. The Don's men have helped themselves too many times. My boys, Pavel or Cole, might have a lead. Maybe they know something.
Where can I find Baxter?
In the slaughterhouse at the harbour. He runs the meat trade here. He's quite a jovial fellow, but he takes his job very seriously.
What's in it for me if I come up with the skins?
You want to be paid for your work? I don't have much. I can offer a few arrows, and you'll make some friends.
Okay, I'll find these skins for you.
Thanks. 5 boar skins and 5 wolf skins. And take them to Baxter. Once you have the meat, take that to Master Belcher.
I need a few things.
So at least Flavio does seem like an altruistic merchant. He is more concerned with Master Belcher feeding the needy people here than he is with making his profit. So we've got plenty of wolf skins. We walked in here with them. I didn't collect enough boar skins on our way here. Be very particular about how you pronounce that. Which means we do have to find those here. There are more than enough of both in this town, but you're only really going to find 1 or 2 in different places.
I have a healing potion for you from Master Belcher.
Thank you. I can use this.
Well, that's why I gave it to you. Well, you don't need any soup, sir. You're a gainfully employed fellow. Alright, so it's pretty clear that 2 hours is not going to be enough for all this dialogue, so I'm probably going to do a 90-minute episode getting as close to half of the dialogue as I can, and then do the other half in the next episode.
There's a face I don't recognize.
There's a face that's
Don't go
ugly.
wandering outside the gutters if you want to stay safe.
You're a town guard.
Damn right, so that means around here, the law is what I say it is. Stay in the gutters and stay out of trouble.
Why are there only a few guards about?
We are the town's first line of defense. So we were the first people sent to those ruins when they sprang up. Most didn't come back. Or if they did, they were in bad shape. That was before Mendoza and his Inquisition turned up. Now it's his men that go into those ruins. And let me tell you, that's fine by me.
Can you train me?
Sure. I could do with a bit of amusement. It'll cost you, though.
You mean the amusement's not payment enough?
Do you know where I can get some skins?
I don't have any. I can't get any either. But some citizens have decorated their houses with skins. Just saying, in case you wanted any.
Yeah, that'd be stealing, though.
Well, there aren't a lot of wolves and boars to hunt in town. And if you haven't brought any skins with you, all you can do is check with the merchants. Oh, and the slaughterhouse might have some left.
Oh, that's where they're supposed to be going. Pavel, you do seem like a shady fellow, I must say.
A customer. Welcome. What can I get you?
I have a healing potion for you from Master Belshaw.
Thank you.
A drink?
Of course.
Well, he's got the usual goods.
Too risky.
And he has got keeps his eyes too close on his purse.
Hey, new in town. Gold burning a hole in your pocket? In the market for a valuable artifact? Yeah, of course you are. And lucky you ran into me, because I got the very thing.
Who are you?
Name's Dirk. I'm an acquirer of rare and valuable items. A treasure seeker. Just like my brothers. Runs in the family, you could say.
So you don't work alone?
Ulf, Dieter, and little old me. Triplets.
Triplets? Thanks for the warning. So you trade artifacts then?
Not much getting in and out of Harbour Town. People gotta make a living any way they can. Most of those ways. Well, you wouldn't write home to your ma about 'em. Ulf's off looking for work until things pick up. I just want to get back to the ruins again. Good place for treasure seekers.
So you and your brothers are traveling separately?
Easier to find work that way. Although I've not seen Dieter for days. I heard rumors Ulf was being held prisoner in the Merchants District. No idea if that's true.
You don't seem too bothered.
Well, if it is true, he can handle himself. Toughest of the three of us, he is.
I'll see if I can help Ulf.
He can handle himself. But if you're going that direction, then I suppose it couldn't hurt.
What sort of artifact are you selling?
Some kind of large golden bowl. You need something golden bowl-shaped? This'll be perfect. And it's yours for just 150 gold.
Now, quite annoyingly, you can't steal that from him. I'm pretty sure the two brothers, besides Ulf, basically all three of them are selling the same artifact. But the two brothers that are not imprisoned, you can't just pickpocket the artifact from them. Which means when we get around to that quest, it's going to cost us some money. That's just the way it is. Anyway, before we get sidetracked and let Martha, the farm wife, get out of shape, let's go drop off this potion with her. Maybe this fellow on the way.
I'm supposed to give you this healing potion from Master Belshaw.
Ah, thank you. Refugees stick together, eh?
Hey, indeed. Who else do we need to give them to? Nope, not that one. Elias, Cole, Finn, Josh, and Martha. Okay. So the last two just to these two. Wait, you're not Josh.
Master Belshaw told me to bring you this potion.
Thank you. Finally a chance for Martha. But healing potions alone won't be enough. I have to get my wife off the street. It's killing her. She needs somewhere to stay. Shelter.
I'll find a bed. Some shelter for your wife.
If you could do that, it'd be wonderful. Please, do your best, please.
Gonna be honest, you seem to be in good shape here. I mean, you got a fire. She's got a cover there. You're in a cave, so it's not like she's getting rained on. And the worst thing you gotta deal with is all the cow manure fumes. Probably smells better than people just throwing their chamber pots out the window anyway. Wait, Josh was the barkeep, so we already dealt with him. Finn and Cole. I think Cole's the one we haven't seen. Where's Cole? Wait, Cole was the hunter. Alright, so we must have done everybody.
The farmer Arno needs a clean bed for his sick wife Martha. They both live on the street.
I know. They're in a very bad situation. We really need a place to care for the worst cases. If only I knew where I could house Arno's wife. Could you search for somewhere? Perhaps Costa would help us house them.
I can ask. I've given healing potions to everyone on your list.
Thank you, thank you. May the Holy Flame protect you. Perhaps you are suited to be a novice. In any case, you have my blessing. I will tell Carlos about your good work. He'll summon you when he has time. Carry out the tasks he charges you with. Convince him of your commitment, and he will take you to the monastery so you may study magic. He'll also provide you with a pass. Without his word, if you venture outside of the town walls, you'll be arrested by the warriors of the Order.
I see. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Not for the moment. Perhaps later.
All right.
Well, that's it. So we're gonna have a word with Costa, but to be honest, he won't really do anything on this front until the Delgado situation is dealt with.
I need to find clean lodgings for a sick woman, a farmer's wife.
What does that have to do with me? As long as this mess with Delgado remains unsorted, I don't have time for such nonsense.
I don't know why that precludes us from being able to just pay for her to stay there, but that's how the game do. Pretty sure you cannot interact with this chest. Indeed. Alright, well that's the gutter more or less dealt with, except for you, sir.
You there. Get yourself up to the guardhouse. The Commandant wants to talk to you.
Well, I didn't want to go there anytime soon.
Hey, they call me Sid. I hope you're not some faceless minion of the Order.
What do you know about the Order?
The Order locks us in the town like cattle and drags men off to the monastery. Take Rodriguez, a good man, reliable. And now, they did something to his mind up at the monastery. They got to him. Now he's just a tool of the Inquisitor. It's evil, stirring people's brains round like that.
What was Rodriguez before?
He was a decent, honest thief. Salt of the earth. They caught him outside looting. Took him off and changed him. Poor fool guards the slaughterhouse by the harbour for the Order now.
Do you need help?
It's Rodriguez. He's out to get me. He's part of the Order. You're on my side, so do me a favour. Find out what he's planning and tell me.
Maybe you are just up to no good.
Hello, handsome. Haven't seen you around here before.
I'm new.
How did you manage to get into Harbour Town? Not much goes in or out these days. Well, not in town anyway.
I looked for a way, and I found one.
A resourceful, eh? I like that in a man.
Glad to hear it. So, what do you do around here?
I'm Sid's better half. He's one of the Don's men.
Is he now?
Now, don't go thinking he's any old ruffian. My Sid is smart, strong, and he knows what a girl wants.
Which is?
Well, a little material appreciation, of course. Why, what were you thinking? My Sid knows. Why, just the other day, my Siddy gave me a beautiful ring. It was fit for the Inquisitor, it was.
Can I see the ring Sid gave you?
Nah! You might chop off my hand to get to it, I know your sort.
Well, that's very rude. We'll come back to her. There's a whole rigmarole there, but we're not going to deal with that now.
Ahoy! Come to see me, have you?
I need a map of the island.
Why? Surely you've heard it's illegal to leave the town.
I have.
Well, I'll draw you a map if you want. You could use it for decoration.
How much do you want for the map?
It'll be a fair price. I'll let you know when it's completed.
How long will that be?
A good map can't be hurried. Especially these days when the terrain itself keeps changing. But for anyone who knows how to get out of the town, my map would be very useful.
It's kind of funny that he says that. If the terrain keeps changing, how are you going to keep up with it? You can't leave town to get a look at it.
Too risky.
So this guy actually has a lot more going on, but we can't approach him about it now.
Lost in the library. A survivor's tale for bibliophiles.
So, when you find these bookshelves, a lot of them have experience. Much like some of the early ones in Gothic 2, and I guess Gothic 3, although Gothic 3 was mostly for the ancient knowledge. And here's something about alchemy.
You look weather-beaten. Did you make it here across the seas?
Might have done.
I was shipwrecked. I washed up here. What about you?
I'm a sailor. Was. With the storms, there's nothing to do in the harbour. And I give up my job with Patty.
Patty?
So you work for Patty?
I used to. Serving beer. But people are running out of money to spend on beer. So, I was no longer needed. Luckily, she hasn't asked me to clean out my berth yet. If you're looking for work, you won't find a lot.
What happens in the harbour?
Not much since the ships stopped coming in. Carrasco is in charge of things. He manages the warehouse for the Order, and he pays terribly. Stick to Luca. He's got something cooking. And if you do well, there'll be an extra coin or two. But don't let him swindle you. Luca is a complete skinflint.
Well, the word lucre seems very appropriate for him.
Hey, can you spare a roll of Bruegel?
Do I look like someone who would distribute that stuff? Try somewhere else.
Now notice this here. I'm gonna yoink it now. But really, I shouldn't have approached that so soon. Just bear that in mind. That's gonna be important later. In fact, I saved right before doing this, didn't I? Right before talking to the map maker, but we're gonna save that just because I want to do it all at once. I don't want to really make any meaningful progress on any of these quests, or else it's gonna get a little bit confusing. Let's have a word with the fellows inside the old watering hole.
Hey, did my old lady send you?
No.
Good. Never stops nagging. You're young. Take my advice. Don't get married.
Are you hiding from your wife?
No cows, no harvest, no farm. Creatures everywhere. And she said that was my fault. Came to get work here. Now Carrasco won't even give me a job lugging crates.
Would that have anything to do with the fact that you're in here getting drunk?
That's got nothing to do with me. That's got nothing to do with it. That's got nothing to do with it.
And you're sure about that?
What are you, a missionary? I'll seek my salvation in drink. Go and bother Luca or someone.
I'm trying to figure out, because, like, it seemed like that subtitle was incorrect, and then the correction happened afterwards. He read both, and then repeated the correction. So it's like he had multiple takes. The first two were supposed to be rejected, but they included all three, and somehow the subtitle reflected at least part of it.
What do you think?
Locking us in
I don't mean to do that! I have to be really careful here. I'm impulsively doing the pickpockets, forgetting that there's quests involved with these guys. I need to be, like, saving that.
What? Well, but
You must have someone else to talk to.
I'm what? But
what?
No, correct. He stick, but don't.
Good. Never. No. Came.
Would
that. What? Go.
Hey, are you in the market for valuable artifacts?
Who are you?
You interested or not?
You're one of the triplets, right?
You know my brothers?
I've met one of them.
Now, triplets is a convenient excuse for having several characters with the exact same face.
Where did you get this artifact?
It sort of fell into my possession. Heard it might come from the temple ruins, and it looks valuable.
Your brother Ulf is being held prisoner by the Order.
Ulf will escape.
From what I've heard, there's not many escape the Order. What is this artifact?
A golden bowl. It's sort of gold, and bowl-shaped. I want
Sounds familiar.
150 gold coins for it.
150. Right.
So I guess I lied earlier. You can't actually pickpocket him for it. I don't know why Dirk is not an option.
Hey.
Stop staring at me. You never seen a fisherman before?
Didn't mean to stare.
I'm drinking, not talking. Unless you're buying, you're walking. You got any rum?
I've got some rum for you.
Ah, bliss. She may be cruel in the mornings, but she's a fine mistress night and day. Light on the tongue, warm to the body.
So, you're a fisherman?
I lost my boat in those vile storms we've been having. Now I have nothing. Patty's good to me, though. Lets me run a tab.
I'm looking for a buyer for a fishmonger's.
What, Philus's? What's that to me?
Wouldn't a fishmonger's be just the thing for a fisherman?
I catch fish. I don't sell them.
Perhaps you should think about a change of career.
Perhaps.
And you don't have any work right now.
True, true. How much would this stall cost me?
I would like to point out that if you're not able to catch fish, you won't be able to sell them either.
It's yours for 300 gold pieces.
I don't have a coin to my name. But maybe I have something else.
Something else?
I'll need your help.
To do what?
Listen, I have something valuable. We can trade.
And this thing is worth 300 in gold?
Shush, not so loud. And yes, it's an artifact from the ruins.
Why are you running a tab at the bar when you own an artifact?
I can't sell it. If the Inquisition find out, there'll be hell to pay.
I see.
But I'll sell it to you for 300. I'm sure it's worth more. Then I can use the gold to buy the shop, and you can take the profit from the artifact.
What sort of artifact is it?
It's a ring. I think it's magical. So, do we have a deal?
Okay. Sell me the ring.
Believe me, you're getting one good deal right there. Don't let Carlos or his people catch you with it, though.
So, you'll buy the fish stall?
Yeah. Fish from the shore in the mornings, sell during the day. Gotta be better than what I'm doing right now.
Philus will be happy to hear that.
You gotta catch a damn lot of fish in a few hours to have enough to sell for the rest of the day. So the ring that he gave us gives +3 strength. Not bad. But he did pull a fast one on us by saying he's sure it's worth more than 300 gold. Well, it's worth precisely 1/3 of that, and we won't even be able to sell it for that much. Patty, the name we've heard a couple times so far, and who will turn out to be quite a staple figure in this franchise.
Now there's a face that needs a drink. Better get
Although
this beer
very
down
inconsistent
quick.
one.
See if you can bring a smile to it.
Thanks.
Ah, first one's free.
Oh, that's good stuff. Can I have another beer?
Ah, see? I knew you were a man in need of liquid solace. And the beer here is better than most of the hog's piss on the island. This one's on the house. But from now on, you pay for it.
2 free beers. Oh, she didn't give us one that time. You might recognize her voice. This is one of 3 Hollywood caliber actresses that they got on board for the English localization of this game. And Patty, as well as the Sid's girlfriend character that we heard earlier, and a couple other female characters in this game, are voiced by Lena Headey, who you might well know as Queen Cersei from Game of Thrones, and what's her name from 300.
Aren't you kind of young to be running a tavern?
I wouldn't be behind this damn bar if the White Robes hadn't sealed the town. Still, being here is better than being out in the gutter. Or being forced into selling my wares at Sonia's. If I could, I'd have been out of this rat hole long ago.
Why do you want to get out so badly?
I'm looking for something. Something valuable to me.
What?
Can you keep a secret?
Sure.
Yeah. and so can I.
Haha, clever.
You've got me curious. What is it you're looking for?
Right, terrier, aren't you? Well, don't get too excited. It's nothing you can sell. I need to find my father.
Really?
He went missing in the storms. His name's Gregorius. He's a sailor.
Gregory?
I heard he was here. That's why I came. But I got stranded by the storms. Then the owner of this place was killed. Got sent into the ruins by the Inquisition. So I took this place over. Haven't found a trace of my father, though. He must be somewhere outside the town.
How do you plan on getting out of the town?
No damn idea. No damn idea. Yet. I did hear there's a secret way out of the town. The Don uses it to get around the Inquisition. No idea if it's true. There's so much bloody talk in this place.
I'll help you to find your father, Gregorius.
And why would you want to do that? Sorry. Not used to getting offers of help.
Do you mind...
If you find anything out, I'd be grateful.
Fat fellow?
I don't know if you know Captain Romanov. I heard he came here, and that he's still on the island somewhere. Romanov is also a man of the sea. He and my father have crossed paths a few times. If anyone knows something about my father, it's going to be him.
There's one thing I noticed. I feel like it's what's happening, but it seems like the background chatter between NPCs gets muted when you're in dialogue, which is nice for making it, you know, so it's not intruding on the conversation you're having, but it does kind of kill the ambiance when you're in dialogues.
It might be gossip, but what do they say about the secret way out of town?
Artifacts keep going missing, so someone's smuggling them out. The Inquisition won't let ships leave the harbor, and they guard both gates. So the smugglers must have found a third way those damn white robes don't know about.
Sounds like you could be right. Do you know any of these artifact smugglers?
I bet this tavern that the Don's men are
beg your pardon.
it. They usually are. But maybe that's just talk too.
I'll help you get out of town.
Better men than you have told me the same thing. But their price for help wasn't one I was going to pay. Maybe you're different from the others. Maybe you're the same. But if you hear something, if you know something, I'll treat you fair. But there are things I won't do.
Well, things we won't even be able to ask you to do. I have to say, her outfit is one of the ugliest things in this game. I don't like a lot of the outfit designs in general, but like, what the hell is that? Why has your vest that barely covers your bust got a massive, like, Victorian collar almost thing on it? And you have this weird triangular, like, choker underneath it. And then hot pants and thigh highs. It's just one of the strangest outfit designs in this game. Anywho, that's really all there is to see here. So I guess we could wrap up the harbor kind of area. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm looking at the time going by. We still got a lot left. Whatever. Let's wrap up the harbor area. We're not going to talk to anybody at the slaughterhouse, but everyone in that direction we'll save for next episode, other than we will answer Commandant Carlos's summons before we wrap it up for today.
Halt! No one can enter this warehouse.
Everything all right, big guy?
Everything is all right.
I'm looking for training.
Ukos can train you. Train you in strength. Train you with an axe. I must ask for a little gold, against my honor. But Ukos needs gold for the butcher shop.
I'd like to train.
So, same thing as the fellow back in the Don's camp. Now, one annoying thing is that having the strength boosting ring or any strength boosting artifacts does skew the cost of training, which it really shouldn't. It's not affecting your base amount, but this game doesn't have a contingency for it.
Too risky. Hey.
Wait. Not here.
Huh?
We talk here, Carrasco will listen. He doesn't have to know everything. Let's go somewhere else.
You do that, buddy.
I'd stop right there if I were you. You ain't going any further.
What's the problem?
The Order runs this warehouse now.
So what?
So they don't want anyone wandering in uninvited. Wandering uninvited types tend to wander out again with stuff that ain't theirs.
What sort of trouble?
Artifact smuggling. It's bad enough these artifacts have been stolen in the ruins. You'd think they'd be safe in town in a warehouse, but there are thieves everywhere, trying to undermine the Order.
Now, how exactly are people stealing them from the ruins? Like, who owns them? I will say it is a massive dick move for the Inquisition to show up here and say, that's all mine.
Can I help?
Well, the latest things to go missing were 3 golden bowls. The Inquisitor was not impressed. I could do with getting those back. And I need to get hold of some armor plates that walked out the warehouse a few days ago.
Let's talk compensation.
I was like you once. All about the gold and the dark place. I hope you find your higher purpose.
Well, you're all about the gold and the artifacts.
Have it your way. If you help me, you can choose your reward.
Where did the golden balls come from?
An illegal excavation at an old temple, outside the town. Since we heard about that, talk says someone's been trying to sell 3 golden bowls on the black market. Idiots. To resist the Order is crazy. We're driven by a greater force, a higher purpose.
You know, anyone can say that.
All right. I'll find the 3 golden bowls for you.
You've got a pair on you, I'll give you that. But with the corrupt rabble we've got around here, it won't be easy. There'll be more than just you who's after them. So watch your back.
What do you know about the theft?
My guess is the day labourers nicked them. All 5 plates. But you'd be hard pushed to find a brain amongst them. No. Luca's bound to be behind it. Talk to him. Find out what he knows about those plates.
Don't worry, I'll get your plates back. All 5 of them.
Watch yourself. That godforsaken lot won't just give them to you.
3 bowls and 5 plates? What kind of dinner party are you having? Don't need any silverware with them?
Hey yourself. If you like what you see, you're going to have to pay Madame Sonia first. Until then, seeing is all you get.
Fair enough. Who is Madame Sonia?
I didn't think I'd meet someone around here who didn't know Madame Sonia. She's my boss. Owns the brothel on the Western Harbour Quay.
I see. You're the most enchanting creature I've ever seen.
Well, don't you say the nicest things. You aren't like the others in this town. You know how to talk to a woman.
Well, you make it nice and easy.
Yes? What do you want?
Do these ships really need guarding?
Ships? No. Cargo, yes. And while these ships are stuck here, it's the Inquisition's duty to protect them. So here I am.
You're a warrior of the Order.
Your keen intellect tell you that.
Your armor did.
Yes. I am a warrior of the Order of the Holy Flame.
That's a big title for a guard.
It'll never cease to bug me, and I'm sure many of you have noticed it by now as well. But the bladed staves that these warriors of the Order have is just a little bit too short, and they're always gripping it with their index finger clutching the edge of the blade. Looks very uncomfortable.
How did you become a warrior of the Order?
The Inquisitor himself chose me. He took me to the monastery for training.
So you were forced into service?
No. The service found me, and I found the service. I wish more people would sign up. Do their duty.
Every man must find their calling. What's the Inquisitor like?
You haven't met him? He's a hard man with firm principles. Once he has his eyes on a goal, no one can stop him. You can't help but admire a man like that.
I suppose not.
Oh dear.
If you stay within the law,
behave yourself.
You have nothing to fear from him.
What if I don't agree with the law?
Then you better hope you don't meet him.
Have you caught people trying to steal from the ships?
There are those stupid enough to try, but nothing escapes my eagle eyes. Nothing.
Of Of course not.
Don't mock. You don't want to end up like our prisoner in the Harbour Key jail, do you?
What did the prisoner in the jail do?
Captain Romanoff is a pirate. Was a pirate. Now he's just another prisoner. We caught him smuggling goods from the mainland for the Don. Of course, Romanoff's not the sort to pay for goods. He plundered, burned, and killed his way across the coast. Until the Inquisitor caught up with him. You see? Law and order. Safety. The Don is gone. And soon we'll find the gold Romanoff was paid by him. Until he tells us where that is hidden, he'll rot in his cell.
Has Romanoff told you anything, so far?
Not much. He's tight-lipped for a braggart. But a few more weeks rotting in jail and he'll speak.
You hope. Maybe I can get Romanoff to talk.
Ha! Why would he tell you where he's hidden it? We'll find it. The gold can't be far, and there are only so many places to hide it.
I'll find Romanoff's gold.
How? We've been trying for days without success. But if you did manage to find it, you would of course be rewarded.
I'd need to be.
So the annoying thing is, even though he gives you the quest to find Romanoff's gold, he doesn't allow you to talk to Romanoff to try and have at it. He also says he's watching the ships, but you can just kind of walk right in here. Does no good. Really isn't much to find here except a clam and a torch. It's a bit weird. He says he's watching the ships. All we see is one. It is not a very large ship. Now we're going to talk with the fellow down there in the next episode, or a later episode, because he's part of the solution for a quest, or really just standing in the way of it. I don't see much reason to talk to him now. It'll just get confusing later.
Hey, you new?
How are things going here?
Not good. Not good. These storms ain't budging.
So you're a sailor?
Fisherman. Though there ain't no fish out there that make me want to brave these storms. So right now, I'm lugging crates. Doesn't pay much, but it's a great deal safer.
What's in all these crates?
Whatever it is, it's damn heavy.
So you don't actually know what's in them?
Trade goods, I'll wager. Spices, hides, stuff like that.
Who do they belong to?
The Order. Warehouse is theirs now.
What are they doing in there?
Storing stuff from the ruins, probably.
What do you know about the artifacts in the warehouse?
Well, I saw them dragging in a big sarcophagus. Late at night it was.
Can you tell me more about the sarcophagus?
It was huge. Great stone thing. Glad I wasn't one dragging it.
You can keep paying him for information. It's quite expensive, considering there's really no value to it, but let's just hear him out anyway.
Where's this sarcophagus now?
In the front warehouse. The one closest to Patty's Tavern, on the upper floor. You'll have to use the door at the back to get in. Though you don't look like the type who'd let a simple door stand in your way.
Oh, what do you know about me?
If you're a fisherman, maybe you'd be interested in buying a fishmonger's.
No, I ain't no storekeeper. I need to be out in the waves. Well, when they ain't 50 foot tall, that is. Try Patty's Tavern.
I was just about to say something and I've completely forgotten. He's another guy involved with the armor plates quest, though. So we'll get those all in one go. Carrasco wants them, but Lucor is also the other one who wants them, so let's chat him up.
Do you have a problem with Carrasco?
Well, let's see. All those temples turn up and we're thinking, hurrah, the gods have finally smiled on us. Then the Inquisition arrive, take over our island and start claiming all the treasure belongs to them. How would you feel?
But do you have a particular problem with Carrasco?
He's the worst of them. Claims I've been stealing. Even had me searched. But he's never found anything. It's an outrage! An outrage, I tell you!
It's an outrage that he accuses you of stealing exactly like you have been doing.
I'm looking for work.
You could lug crates, but you have to talk to Carrasco. But you don't look like the crate-lugging kind of guy.
What do I look
You don't know what I like lugging.
Someone who will willingly take greater risks for greater profits?
So you don't think stealing is an outrage?
Taking from the orders, not stealing. It's our duty. I pay a few lads to liberate items from the warehouse. I'm damned if I'm letting the Inquisition get all the treasure, but those lads have run up tabs to pay. They've bedded too many wenches. They're getting greedy, and I won't have that.
Which lads are causing trouble?
There's Durham. He's a worker from the harbour.
Who else?
Ingvar and Vasily. Neither of them has a proper job, so they're just work for hire. Most of the time they can be found in Patty's Tavern. Fine woman she is.
How exactly have they got greedy?
They stole 5 ancient armour plates that were found in the ruins.
Can this armour be used?
You mean to improve your own armour?
Yes.
They're more ceremonial than practical, but they're still very valuable.
What do you want doing with these lads? How should I handle it?
Any way you like. They've crossed me for the last time. Do what you have to do. Just get me those armour plates back, and don't let them fall into Carrasco's hands.
What's in it for me, if I help?
You can have the gold I offered them. 50 gold pieces for each plate. 5 plates, that's 250 all in. 250's a good price. You won't get that much coin faster and easier anywhere else.
I want 400.
Yeah, and I want Patty to roll naked in a bath of warm oil with me. But it ain't gonna happen.
Your boys wanted twice that much. That'd be 500. I'll take 400. I earn, and that way you still come out ahead.
Unfortunately, you have a point. All right, I'll pay 400. But only if you make sure those greedy arses stick to our agreement in the future.
I'll retrieve the armour plates.
That's the spirit. I'm here if you've got any more questions.
Carrasco wants the armour plates back.
I'm sure he does. But he won't pay you as good as I will. So, forget Carrasco and bring me those plates.
Too risky.
Alright, we're really stacking up jobs here. I guess we'll speak with Rodriguez just because Sid already told us about him. And we'll just round out this whole subquest.
There's a hungry look. But if you want meat, I'll want coin. If you don't have any coin, Master Belcher is handing out stew to the poor. Though you don't look that poor.
I don't understand why you're asking for money. You don't run the butcher shop, you're just guarding it.
What's your job here?
I guard the slaughterhouse. Not a plum job. But when you decide to switch sides from the Don to the Inquisition, it takes time to earn trust. That's why I'm stuck guarding meat. Although, that's certainly increased in value now the storms have curbed the fishing trade. People are as likely to steal steak as they are artifacts.
Have there been many break-ins?
Too many. 3 houses were robbed recently.
And what was done about it?
Not much we could do apart from keep an eye on local troublemakers. I am positive Sid is behind it though.
Why do you think Sid was behind the robberies?
He considers himself a local leader of sorts. Likes to stir things up.
But what makes you so sure it was him?
Well, you just have to look at that girlfriend of his and the wealth she flaunts to know it's not coming from an honest source.
How do you know Sid?
I was one of the Don's men. It's not something I'm proud of, but he's a charismatic man. He can be very persuasive. Then I realised he doesn't care about the future of this island. He just cares about his own selfish gains. Now, I fight alongside Inquisitor Mendoza.
What are you planning to do now?
If I can prove Sid was behind the burglaries, maybe I can improve my standing in the Order, but I doubt anyone would talk to me. The Don's men feel betrayed, and the Inquisition are suspicious. So, I need someone who doesn't have my baggage. What about you? It would help this town no end if the burglaries were stopped. I can pay you for your aid.
Okay, I'll investigate the break-ins.
Good. Be careful, it won't be easy. Sid's tricky. It's difficult to pin anything on him, even though he always seems to know where items of value can be found.
You think he cased the houses in advance?
He may be a thief, but he's not a stupid one. He probably sent someone else to scope the houses out. If you can find out who his spy is, that'll be a good start.
How much will you pay me?
How about 150 gold?
Whose houses were robbed?
Nelson the cartographer, Flavio the fur dealer, and Baxter the bookkeeper. You should talk to each of them. Their statements could be the key to bringing Sid to justice.
We know where all them are, so I'm not going to bother with directions. But yes, that's where the cartographer would have had more to say. Anyway, before I forget, let's let Phyllis know the good news, and then we'll head to Commandant Carlos.
I found someone. Nico will buy your stall.
What? Is he crazy? Oh well, his craziness, my escape. Thank you for finding him. Here, I found this clam in a fish crate. Might be of use to you.
Now you're fish free, what will you do now?
I'm going to Patty's. I'll get the gold from Nico on the way, and then I'm going to get very, very drunk.
Well, have fun with that. Don't piss away all your fortunes now. Alright, so obviously there's more people to talk to here, and there's a lot of buildings in this direction, but we're ignoring all of them for now. Because there is actually one other thing up at the barracks that I want to show before the end of the episode as well. Something I hinted at in a previous episode.
Halt. You're not coming in here.
Commandant Carlos has summoned me.
I know. I've been expecting you.
Then are you going to let me in?
Wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't.
Well, then why'd you stop me?
What's this building?
It's our guardhouse, and the headquarters of Carlos, the commandant of the town.
How did you become a warrior of the Order?
I volunteered. Conscripts usually get sent to the temple ruins after training. I'd rather take guard duty in town any day of the week. They actually tried to make me become a mage. A mage? I mean, really? All that messing around with magic. It's not natural.
Ain't you guys supposed to be learning something about magic yourselves?
Ah, there you are. It's about time.
You know me.
This is a small island. We've got used to refugees, but they still stand out. Question is, are you a spy for Don Esteban? Someone seeking to join the Order of the Flame? Or something else? So, why don't you tell me what you want in this town?
I'm a castaway. I haven't taken any side.
Is that so? Well, let me explain how things work here. In this town, Inquisitor Mendoza's law prevails, and I see that his law is followed. Every troublemaker and criminal who tries to break the law will be punished. Those who aid the civic cause and help to keep the peace will be rewarded.
How can I help you?
I need loyal men to ensure this town stays within the law. We are working for order, for the common good. But there are criminals, outlaws who would destabilize what we have achieved.
What is your role in this town?
To defend it, to keep order, to protect the citizens in the Order's care. That is my duty to the town. My duty to the Order and humanity is to make sure the artifacts we find are shipped to the monastery. The temples that rose from beneath the ground are full of artifacts. And every petty thief on this island is trying to steal them. The Inquisitor has commanded that all artifacts are to be taken to the monastery. People think he wants them for money, but I sense he sees a link between these artifacts and the disasters that have befallen us. He is seeking a clue to our salvation. We must gather these artifacts. We must convey them safely to the monastery. We must see that the Inquisitor is able to proceed with his business.
What about these outlaws you mentioned?
Before the Inquisition came, Don Esteban had great influence in this town. But when we arrived here, he retreated. Now this bandit king is hiding somewhere beyond these walls. Without him, his people are disorganized. As long as their numbers remain manageable, they have no power, though they remain an irritant. If we are to stop them becoming more than that, we must remain alert.
What future do you see for Harbour Town?
What future for the world, for this island? Those things are in the hands of the Inquisitor. For us, we must keep this town safe for its citizens. Keep it a haven for refugees. Keep these honest people safe from the dangers without and within. Once we have done that, we must look to feed the people, find ways to survive, until we have word from the mainland.
I will help you keep the law in this town.
Then root out the outlaws. Find those on the streets of my town that do not fit with the Order's plans, who do not seek the common good. Confront them and see to it that they can do no harm. My guards will help you. If you wish to join the Order, then do your duty and I will see to it that you advance.
Very good, sir.
Not now.
Well, we still got a lot more people to talk to before we start making any decisions. But, that is what it is. Now, before we wrap things up, the thing I teased at is right over here. And this is something I actually didn't know about for the longest time. There's a skeleton here. You'll notice a suspicious patch of loose-looking dirt.
A little more
Turns
for
out,
me.
is diggable. You can actually see the model of the chest peeking through the top a little bit there. Behold. And what is in here is a ring of stealth. And that is why I said you should not learn sneaking. I believe there is a second ring of stealth somewhere out in the world. But this is the easiest one to get. And it's one that we won't have equipped at all times. But anytime stealth is on the menu, this takes care of that for us, and we don't have to worry about spending any learning points or gold on learning how to do it. All that does is it enables you to crouch by using control. That means you move silently. It doesn't change. The way stealth works in this game is really no different than it has in previous games, where it doesn't affect anyone's ability to see you. It just affects the noise you make while crouched, meaning you won't wake characters up, and they won't hear you if you're right behind them.
Sneaking doesn't
Bear
work
in
when I
mind
can see you.
that characters who do see you sneaking will call you out. But anyway, that's that.
I mean, I know they sprang from the ground.
We're gonna call it here. 90 minutes was enough to get through quite a bit of chatter. Hopefully another 90 minutes gets us through the rest. And then we can worry about how we're handling the actual quests. I'm not fully deciding how I'll do that. Because, like I said, you complete them the same way for both sides. It's just a matter of who you turn in the quest with to complete it. So the choice is between basically doing all the quests and just showing both outcomes one after the other, or doing all the quests for one side and then in a different episode doing them all for the other side. The reason that is the less favorable option for me is because I feel like they're kind of redundant in a way. So whichever one I do second is going to happen a lot quicker, and the one I'm going to do second will be the Dawn side, because I'm going to go through the whole bit where we go to the monastery, become a mage, and that's all settled before I'll show what it looks like doing everything for the Dawn. But for now, I guess we'll call it here. The next episode shouldn't take too much longer, since I really don't have much to do other than talk to people. But until then, have yourselves a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay healthy. Jeez. I don't sound very healthy myself. And goodbye.